Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you guys are doing fine. This is a continuation of last night's. This is part 3 of Love and Faith Atlanta. And if you have been following along, they did 3, I think, episodes in the series. Good morning, Miss AKA. And this is the last actual episode, which is, let me see how many minutes it is. It's not very long at all. But I will tell you this, I have enjoyed the series. Very eye-opening. They talked about a lot of things that should be addressed. This last episode was called The Grace. Give me one second. Was called The Grace to Forgive. And I believe this last episode was very fitting for the end of the show. It actually opened up the room for more information. Hey, Butterfly, thanks for coming in. And thanks, Miss AKA. So this show really has been a great show. I really am hoping that they extend it a little further. I love the series too. It was really good. And I really think that the second episode, which talked about gays in the church or same gender loving in the church and how they are accepted or not accepted. It talked about women in the church, how women are sometimes ostracized in the church, not used, considered less than, although women in the church sometimes are what make up the majority of the church. So like we did last night, we're going to listen and I'm going to give commentary in between. So let me put up my fair use disclaimer. Some material in this video is used under U.S. Copyright Fair Use Section 107 for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. Butterfly said I watched the first and second episode. They were really good. That second episode to me was heavy. And I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know about the second episode. I don't know if I should talk about this because I don't know if I carried the verbiage to do it justice. But I really think that the episode after a while was good. What should say? The one with Pastor Holy. That was the second episode. I'm so happy that they address gay people in church. Me too. I think that is a conversation that has to be had. I really think the very fact that sometimes we want to persecute people for who they are as same gender loving, but we don't persecute the adulterer, the fornicator, which are sometimes the people in the pulpit, the liar, the thief. We don't address him in the same manner as we do the person who is same gender loving, which I really felt like them addressing it opens up the door for it to be addressed more, and it should be addressed outside of just this setting on TV. These churches need to be addressing this because they run people away. Maybe unintentional, but they still run them away. He actually did point out a lot of things for them to think about. He did. I think Jeremy Tuck, who his name is Jeremy Tucker, is his real name, Pastor Jeremy Tucker. They actually talked about it in the second episode, how they're more conservative, or church is really considered more conservative, and he's very liberal. And I think the very fact that the liberation that Tuck brought to the group was really good. I think he really opened up the door for them to sit down and think about this, think about the other things that you let slide in church while you condemn this very one thing. So I really am glad they did that. Yeah, I did like that conversation. Yeah, I like Tuck. I think Tuck is a great addition to the group, especially because one has a gay child. Exactly. Gerald Haddon's son is a homosexual, and they actually he's same gender loving. I don't even like to use that word, homosexual. He's same gender loving. And in this last episode, they actually address more of the son. Tammy and Gerald sit down and they talk about the son, and you'll see more that the dad and the son really have some conflict, which is what I said when I reviewed last episode, that the dad was like, oh, what is it like to have a gay son? Oh, it's great. And then they pan over to the wife, and she's saying, well, the son and the dad had this, that, and the other. So I kind of felt like there was some undertones, but we wasn't getting it from the daddy, but the mama told it. Oh no, that's not the one I like. I like the other guy, the youngest one. That is Tuck. Jeremy Tucker is the youngest one. Let me see if I got a picture of Jeremy that I could put up to yeah, Jeremy Tuck. Oh, I took a lot of pictures. Let's see. See if it's gonna pop up. There it goes. So Jeremy Tucker's the one in green. He's the youngest of the group. We'll start from right to left. Well, let's go from left to right. First in blue is Jamal. We all know Jamal. We all know Jamal Bryant. And second would be Bishop Tiggs. He is a bishop of the Bermuda District of Church of God in Christ. Next to him is Pastor Gerald Haddon, who actually is a national recording artist, brother to Dietrich Haddon, and Gerald is pretty popular in the gospel world. The fourth person, which is on in the seats to the right, would be Jeremy Tucker, Pastor Jeremy Tucker, who said he's ordained gay members or same gender loving members. He's also said that his church is pretty much open. He throws a net out and he just gets what he can because he doesn't want a poll where you can pull back what, the people that you only want there. And then the last gentleman on the right would be Bishop Phelps. I think his name is Scipio Phelps. He is a bishop and a pastor in Atlanta. He's hardcore, ex-drug dealer, blah, blah, blah. He's that guy who really, he's kind of harsh. And he says in his introduction, I say what I want to. So that kind of throws out his idea of what he, Butterfly, you got to go watch it. When I say this, they were good, really good show. I enjoyed it. Sorry I'm so late with doing the actual reviews because they've already done they didn't call it a reunion. They just called it, I guess, like a rewatch. And they had Larry Reed. I'm going to take these off because I put some lashes on this morning, baby. When I tell you, they scratching my glasses and making my eye hurt. Larry Reed did the rewatch. I think they called it a rewatch, but we're going to review that one as well. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to watch that. I think he has an issue with it, but he's trying to get over. He is trying, and that I will give him that. But we're not going to act like there wasn't an issue because he made it seem like, oh, I have a same gender loving son, and he's great, and da 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 da. He comes to the church just for karaoke. He does this, he does that. When in actuality, you're having issues with your son being a part of it. So yeah, that's that. I don't care for Dietrich. I remember him from the other. I love Dietrich Haddon. Baby, I love Dietrich Haddon. I think Dietrich Haddon is liberal. He's just like Jeremy Tuck. We just don't see that side of Dietrich. Dietrich is very liberal. He's not conservative at all. And the thing is, I think I met Dietrich before. I'm a preacher's kid in the gospel realm. So I have had an opportunity to meet Dietrich Haddon. He's about his business. He's about honesty and truth. I watched Dietrich Haddon walk away from a concert because the promoter didn't pay him his money. So I really think that sometimes we see people on the surface from the TV stand, but they're different people. Dietrich is very talented. He has a lot to offer the world. He's a great pastor, great leader. And I'm getting off the Dietrich Haddon train, but I like Dietrich Haddon. He's one of my favorite gospel artists. He was a mess. Exactly. Yes, Larry Reed is going, Messy Larry is going, allegedly. Messy Larry Reed is going to be doing he did the recap of the show for the 3 episodes. So I really want to see it. I want to see how they kind of talk about it, how far they deep dive into it. I think Larry probably is a great person for the review because Larry himself dabbles in same gender living. So I think that sometimes it could, that he may be able to bring a different side out to the group. I just told my little sister, I said what I said. I said what I said. Oh, okay. Thank you. I was like, I said what girl, It's too early in the morning. You know, I stayed in the bed late today. Lord. Exactly. So yeah, I think that he may have a different perspective, and I am open to hear that perspective, because at the end of the day, God loves us all, and we can't be persecuting and pushing certain people away just for what? Self gratification or our fear or thinking that God is going to condemn us, because Jesus loved everybody. And if you're going to say you're a Christian, you have to follow that same thing. Jeremy Tuck kept saying over and over, my church is a Jesus model. My church. And Jamal, I think, took offense to that, because he was like, what do you mean? Like, you think that the rest of us, we're not following Jesus? And I thought, okay, that touched a nerve. So he must have hit a soft spot within you. Yeah, I think Larry's gonna be good. I can't wait to watch it. And I'm gonna do that today while I fix me some lunch. Downstairs, I'll be watching that reunion and trying to see where they're going. But let's start. This episode was only 15 minutes long, and 15 minutes that it eliminates some of the fluff as well. So it may have been 14 minutes of some change. Understand what the Bible said, that the Bible says what it says. But at the end of the day, like you said, Jesus loved everybody, and thieves, prostitutes, he did. He did. And just to be frank, let me put my glasses back on because I need to be able to see. Just to be frank about who Jesus loved, the woman at the well who Jesus asked to give him a glass of water would be considered a prostitute. Right? Jesus told her, where's your husband? She goes, I don't have one. Right. You've had several. And he went through and named them. But Jesus saved her at the well. So I believe that as long as we keep condemning people, the church will be empty if someone does not open up their eyes and really, really get out here and draw people to God. I talked about that last night, the confines of the four walls of the church. You've got to get out of those four walls, and you've got to reach the masses. You've got to reach the people, and you've got to tell people that Jesus loves you, that God loves you. Hey, I said what I said. Thanks for joining us today. We're recapping Love and Faith Atlanta, which is a new series that just came on YouTube. It wasn't on TV. I don't know if they're just trying it out to see if it's TV worthy, if people would enjoy it, but I think they had like over 50,000 people that watched it on YouTube. And it was, when I say I enjoyed it, I would love to see it on TV. I enjoyed watching the pastors of, what's it called? The Pastors of Detroit, which had Noel Jones, Deitrick Haddon. I enjoyed all of that. I enjoyed those. So I really think that this episode would be good. This series would be good on TV. Pastor Holy Whore regrets a lot of backlash for how he moves. So not surprised he was triggered. Right. But he probably, if you think about it, should have been more open, right? Regardless of him being triggered, he should have been more open, primarily because of the way he has shown himself in this world, right? Being married, committing adultery on your wife, having children, allegedly committing adultery. Let me put that in there. Allegedly. Everything that I'm saying is alleged, in my opinion, and it's all for entertainment purpose. We're just over here chit-chatting. Allegedly committed adultery. Allegedly, divorced his wife, which the Bible speaks against divorce. If we're going to be honest, let's be honest. Committed fornication after divorce because he had children after children after children. I think they say he fathers allegedly 7, 8 children. I'm not sure. I don't have any kids by him, so I'm not in the loop. But I would think that he would have had a better opportunity to be. I would have thought he would have been more open to and receptive to the very fact of accepting gays in the church. Now, I will say this: the very fact that he came to Atlanta and took over Bishop Long's church, he has rules I'm sure he has to follow. He has guidelines, and he has a board he has to talk to. So primarily, maybe the board is saying that this is not what they want, which is fair. You have to give the people what they want. But I also think that he should his own personal preferences should be open. And we did hear him say that he did apologize to the young man who belonged to his church in Baltimore, who he met in Atlanta, who had come out of the closet, who was open. And he said he apologized because he wasn't aware. And this young man considered him like a father figure to him. He considered the young man like a son, and yet he was not aware that this young man was same gender loving. And I appreciate that. I do appreciate him apologizing, because sometimes it takes a big man. Jamal Bryant, he walks in big shoes, whether we like him or not. He walks in big shoes. He rubs elbows with politicians and some of the who's of this world. But for him to come and apologize to a young man who belonged to his church, his first church, and then take accountability of not being available to that young man, I think is commendable. Where are we at? Let's go through some of these comments. All my pastors from Detroit, right? Girl, the Haddon family, totally from Detroit, totally come out of straight Church of God in Christ. Really good group of people, big family, and I really think that they have a lot to offer the world. When I say talented, the whole Haddon group is talented. He definitely is a good motivational speaker. I don't know, we say preacher. He carries a good word. He does. He really does. Yeah, who should have been? He should have. I would have thought he would have been more open. And that's my point. I thought, the very fact of you've been here, you've been in the middle of this stuff, and you of all people should be open to loving someone who's committed, as we in the church world call sins, because all sins are sins. There's no big, little sin. There's sins. Just put them all in a pile, sweep them up, because they're all sins. I get my button because they're all up in this thing. Right. The church scene. Baltimore is a pretty big church group. Detroit. Most of the big metropolitan cities are really big on church. I appreciate that. I do. When I say I really appreciate it, I'll watch it today. You should. It is really good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I said what I said. That when I say this series caught me by surprise, I was really surprised that they tackled the subject of same gender loving, because it is such a heartstring subject, right? And I say that with kindness, because it's so easy to offend, even though you may not be trying to offend. But I think if you take church right here, and then you have people who are so stuck with tradition, not so much church, not so much biblical, but tradition. Traditionally, we did this. Traditionally, we did this. Traditionally, we did that. If we went by traditions, no one would be in church. Churches would be empty. But you have to be open. Churches are a hospital for sinful people. So you bring them in and you allow God to prick their heart, teach them, train them, clean them up, and then you move forward. You don't do that at all. You said they are. Let's move forward and let's listen to this. I'm going to play it. Pause it. You know how we did last night. This may be a little lazy, but I didn't feel like taking a bunch of notes, because I feel like I overnote myself when I take notes.
First of all, I have a gay son. Let me start here.
They recapped last week.
I'm a fighter. You can check my heart, you can check my spirit, believe it. I'm a fighter. Try to bring me down, but I never been a quit.
Can y'all hear that? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear that.
I'm a fighter. It's a shed bloodline, so you gotta know what's in me. Yeah, I'm a fighter. I can't tap out, but I know who sent me. I'm a fighter. You can check my heart, you can check my spirit. I'm a fighter.
Homeowners in America hit the jackpot.
We get a commercial first off.
Bill passed, and they don't even know it. On December 31st, the solar program that covered.
I'm Lady Lorana Phelps.
You're a soldier.
I am a soldier.
You are a soldier.
I am a soldier.
My name is Bishop Eusebio Phelps.
Lorana Phelps, I really want to know her story, because they told her over and over she was a soldier. She talked about not being able to fit in. We do know that when Bishop Phelps met her, she was with someone else, right? And I believe she was a stripper. Allegedly, I'm not really sure, but I think that's the talk around. Now, take notes is better be over prepared than under prepared. Baby, when I tell you, it seems like, where's my notebook is on my bed, I believe. Girl, I be writing. I have like 5 or 6 pages of notes. I'm like, this is too much. This is a lot of writing. So I call myself trying to dictate into the iPhone under my notes, and then it messes around and it be saying, mispronounced words, rewrite words. And when I'm reading, I'm like, what is this? So I don't know. I'll find the medium between the two. I think I just need to do highlights, points, and bulletins is what I think I'm going to do.
We seen each other at the strip club.
Cheetah, best after hours spot in Atlanta.
I'm Tammy. The same people that would have a problem with me loving my gay son would be at home giving money to their crackhead son. This is my husband, Gerald.
Okay.
That's right. Your best half.
We haven't seen
I have notebooks all over
This is
the
ours, man. How we gonna look being in this house?
It's all right.
I'm Pastor Angelique Simmons.
Then he came to my church and let him preach. And
I'm going to fast forward past this.
What's supposed to be here?
So
It does not have this card.
the first scene in episode 3 is actually she said it's me. So the first scene in episode 3 is Bishop Phelps with his son. He calls on the phone. Well, calls on some microphone and calls. He has an auto. He has a car lot. So he calls on the phone or something and says Chris Phelps needs to come to the lot or whatever. And his son comes out. You can tell the son is obviously nervous, and he begins to ask him, what should be on this car and what should be on that car. And this is a fine if this isn't on this car. And little boy, you can tell he was nervous, but he was fussing at him, and that probably made him even more nervous and maybe even embarrassed. But that was the first scene.
It's not for sale on it. This is a $500 fine. Let's walk the line. I can't do this with you every day. Look, what's supposed to be here? A buyer's order. Is there a buyer's order on this one? Is there? This vehicle is not for sale sticker on this wheel? No. Is this a $500 fine? Yes. 500 plus 500 is what? $1,000. This car. No buyer's order. I'm doing something for y'all that no one has done for me.
Okay, so the very fact that Bishop Phelps felt the need to, although he was showing his son around, get on TV and belittle his son. This is what I wanted to tell him.
Shut up!
Just shut up. Just shut up. Because we didn't need to see any of that. That's something you could talk to him about at the house or off camera. There's no way that you should be belittling your son as you're trying to teach him how to learn the ropes of owning a car lot, or how to move forward with whatever the ins and outs, the intricate parts of the business. We didn't need to see that. I felt like he used it as an opportunity to belittle his son. I didn't like that at all.
Get serious, son. You got to be about your business. I'm serious.
Please like the video when you come in. Thanks for the
understand, but you can't just be up
Thanks,
here because
AKA,
of my
for saying
son.
it earlier.
See? Bro, I'm proud of you. This stove haven't been, we've been here
Shut up.
4 years, and it's the first time this stove being used. I'm proud of you. You know what?
So the second scene is Gerald and Tammy Haddon. They are at their home, excuse me, and Tammy's cooking breakfast. They have a playful banner. I really love the very fact that they are constantly joking and cracking on each other, and they enjoy each other. I love that very fact. And then in this scene, they start talking about their son. Miss AK, yeah, I wasn't feeling that part. That made me so uncomfortable. When I tell you, listen to him talk to his son crazy, it was like, dude, we don't need to hear that. Stop that. But let's move on.
I'm scared to eat them. I feel like I'm going to get sick. Tammy, during the week, they said you used to this. Let's go. These eggs are small. It needs some salt, some pepper. You got some Old Bay?
Old Bay on eggs.
All right, so we got Blair down.
Okay.
So he says today he'll get the car. He's going to get his parts. So That's one, but then two, he got to find a job. Little Gerald.
He's staying at Auntie Dana's house right now.
Let's stop right there. Little Gerald.
So Little Gerald is the son who is same gender loving. They have, I think, two. Did they have 2 or 3 boys? I forgot. I think they have 3 boys. Blair is one of their sons who lives, I think he's still at home. And then Little Gerald is the one who's same gender loving. And he's just to tell us that Little Gerald is staying with the auntie, but Little Gerald's not even speaking to his dad.
Talking to me in real life. Let me tell you what he's supposed to do. Before he call about a contract, he can call saying, Dad, I'm sorry.
What?
Once he says, I'm sorry, we can talk about contracts. We can talk about anything else.
I don't have a problem with that. I've seen you deal with other people that act a fool on you on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And when they decide they're ready to call, it's all ha-ha and hee-hee.
Let me ask you this. When was the last time I talked to Little Gerald?
It's been about 4 months.
What I'm doing to him is I'm teaching him a stern lesson. The person you act that for, need to be a person who don't do nothing for you.
So you have Little Gerald, who the dad is obviously having a battle of some sort with Little Gerald, right? And so he's telling his wife, before I sign the contract, so I want to say Little Gerald sings, before I allow him to sign any type of contract, because the Haddons are producers, they're music producers. Then he has to come and talk to me, and we got to do there's some things I want him to do. And I really think that shows more. Oh, I hope you guys are hearing me, because my Wi-Fi signal just went down to 1 notch. I think that in itself opens up the room to where he was like, having a gay son is great, to have a big question mark. The wife says, I've seen you be nicer and more understanding to people who have mistreated you. This is your own child. So I really think that this is something that I want to see more of this. I would love to see Tammy and Gerald in their own show. Like, it could be 30 minutes, but I believe that they have something to share with the world. Let's go up here and read some of the comments. We did that one. Yeah, just like you, Miss AKA, baby. I can only imagine what you and Big Homie be over there talking about. It's a really good show. Yeah. Thank you. I was wondering, because all of a sudden it just dropped down to 1, which is crazy. I'm gonna watch it as soon as I get done dropping all the kids off at home. It is a great show. When I tell you you're going to enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it. And I think it's because it's something that's familiar. Most of us go to church. Most of us either were raised in church. And so we know some of the quorums and the cliques and the cliches that go on behind the 4 walls of the confines of the church that can sometimes hurt our feelings and make church uncomfortable. So I think this is really good to understand. This is a good show. I understand where his wife is coming from. You treat your church members better than your own son, than your son. You better check yourself before you. Exactly. I totally agree with that. I hope they see this. I do too. I hope they see this. Exactly, Butterfly. I understand the wife was saying wholeheartedly, because at the end of the day, she said, I'm going to have a problem with this because this is our kid. It's okay. You can't be talking about how you love this person and you got an issue with our son. Not saying that he doesn't love his son, but there is something there that is causing them some type of discord that they need to address. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you just don't know. Miss AK says she'll watch it with you. I like that. I love accountability partners. Me and my sister, I joined Weight Watchers 2 days ago. And I did it because my sister joined Weight Watchers. And I think that the doctor's telling her she needs to lose weight. And every time she goes, it's the same story. And so I said, I need to lose some weight too. So I'm going to lose some weight with you. So she joined Weight Watchers and she called me and was telling me about it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to join with you. So I joined with her just as an accountability partner, because I think we all can learn from each other. That's just a little too much information I put in there. Thank you, Miss AKA. Not from church, but how I feel about family members does me. Exactly, Butterfly. And that's the point. Because a lot of times the way family members treat other family members is based on tradition, one, church, two, or knowledge of church and biblical and God. Sometimes it rubs over into our family members. We put our family members with a magnifying glass, and then we over here talking to the neighbor, and we don't treat the neighbor got a whole meth lab in the back of their house, so we ain't said nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? That's sad because his son gonna be here no matter what. Exactly. And you gotta, that's where you gotta draw the line. You gotta draw the line there. Yeah, we do. I love Butterfly. Definitely love her. Love what she brings to social media. She always has a great insight. She's always very energetic and ready to bring us the information. If you agree with her or not, she's gonna bring it to you, and she ain't backing down. She gonna stick with her side, and I love that. Yeah, I did that because I think everybody needs an accountability partner, and sometimes not so much accountability partner as you need some support, baby. We all need some support. Do you hear me? Hey, living for me. Thanks for. I did start without you, darling, but thanks for joining. Oh, get out, Lady Ro. That's so sweet. We can join y'all for support, and I appreciate that because believe it or not, losing weight is hard. It is hard. But I will tell you this: I lost 30 pounds back in 2016. And once I got started, it was okay. But getting started, getting this mind ready to get out here and lose some weight, yeah, it was hard. You should think about doing a watch party. And you know what? We might do a watch party for the if they bring it back. I don't know. Would y'all want to watch the review together with Larry? We could do that. I could set that up on here and we could watch it together. Don't come in here. Oh, is she live? I didn't think she was live today. I've set up 3 lives. I'm going to do another one later on this afternoon about traveling. So stay tuned, y'all. I got some information I want to talk to you about, how I get good deals on flights and whatever. And we can just chit chat about traveling. And if anybody got any questions, I can see if I can answer them. And if I can't answer them, I can get the answers. Okay. Yeah, there's 3 sets. So there's, tomorrow morning I do my Saturday morning scoop, and then this afternoon will be my travel, and then this one was set for 10:30. Actually, let's see what else. She's just getting. Yes, I'm just pretty much getting started. I'm in traffic, so I could talk now, Butterfly. Let's get on back to this. I don't know what he's going to do in the review. That's why I said I'm gonna watch it while I fix myself something to eat because I haven't had anything to eat today. Thank you. I said what I said. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's do a live watch party. Okay, let's do it. I'll actually set that up for. Let me look at my schedule and see what I got going on. But I think we could do it. Okay. Okay, let's go back to where we were at.
I want to try to set up something for you to talk to all of the boys.
Okay.
And I don't want you to give them a hard time if they don't say exactly what you need them to say, how you need them to say it. I just want you to be receptive. I want to see you do with our boys what you do with your siblings. Can we handle that? What's that? What's that mean?
When I got nothing good to say.
How
Say
come,
it all.
real talk though, Gerald, how come you have all the patience in the world for the foolishness that happens with you and your family, but you have no patience with these boys?
That's not true.
I'm basically just me and my brother, and y'all a big family, and so I get the dynamic is different. But Gerald, real talk, the dynamic is dysfunctional. You gotta at least admit that.
Okay, put it like this. We got 1 or 2 people in my family who can be a little much. Okay?
Who?
The ringleaders.
Who?
Dietrich is the ringleader.
I think Dietrich and Gerald's relationship.
So she opened up a whole nother can of worms. She talked about setting up a day that he could talk with the boys. Like I said, I think they have 3 sons. And she told her she wants him to listen to them and not be so hard on them. She's already said he's really hard on their children. And then she starts talking about, she watches the dynamic he has with his siblings and how he's so accepting of his siblings and how they all get into it and they argue. And then she even said that their family, his family, which is a pretty large family, like I said, they're all from Detroit, is dysfunctional, which, you know, somebody call your family dysfunctional make you almost want to get up and throw some tables. But he's receptive, he's listening to her, and then they're having a confessional.
It's the weirdest thing. I think they love each other like, I know they love each other like crazy. I've seen them fight, and then I've seen Dietrich think somebody's turning on Gerald, and then Dietrich pivot really quick and say, well, now it's me and Gerald against like, so it's like, it's the craziest thing
Always
ever.
been since we was kids.
But you know what? Hey, Queen Script, I just saw you up there. AK, Miss AK, you're making me hungry. You know what? I was just sitting here. I bought some black eyed peas, and I'm gonna make me some black eyed peas today. I'm gonna put them in the slow cooker, and I'm gonna slowly cook. That's gonna be my dinner tonight. It's some black eyed peas, and I'm gonna put some turkey necks in there, some smoked turkey necks in there with them, and that's gonna be what I have for dinner with some cornbread. Which I don't know how many points cornbread is, but hopefully to God it ain't that many points. But I need to look it up. So you in here talk about you just DoorDash you some black eyed peas, kale soup, and butter beans. Oh, that sounds good. Queen Script is waiting on an appointment. Yes, happy birthday again. So in this scene, Tammy's talking about the dynamics of the Haddon family and how that they sit around and argue with each other, and then they're ready to fight in defense of the other. My family's the same way. I come from a very large family, and we talk junk to each other, but you ain't gonna talk junk to us, and that's just the way we operate. And I think a lot of big families operate in that same vein. But when you come from small families, 1 or 2 kids, they don't quite get it. But I find that people who come from small families, when they come over and visit our family or around my family, they're always like, oh my God, you guys have so much fun. We always have. We don't sit up. If it's somebody arguing and fighting, somebody fits to resolve it, because there was something our parents, they didn't play all that arguing and fighting and fussing and disrespecting each other. You may think it in your head, but it better not slide out your mouth.
I think my challenge is that I wasn't raised like that. And so I don't understand it. But I remember standing there thinking to myself, like, this is the Twilight Zone. I swear, I was like,
Hello, my name is Adam.
So to her husband's family, and the way they bond with each other, to her was like the Twilight Zone. And I can see why that is, because for people who aren't from large families, they don't understand the camaraderie of large groups of families, that we all have this, we share the same parents, we share the same bond, the same DNA, we laugh, we talk over each other. And then you got somebody here who maybe 1 or 2 siblings, and they all just sit together and they have dinner and no one talks. Where we sit at the dinner table and someone's brought up something and it starts a whole conversation. Everybody around the table waiting for the next person to talk. This is how I was. So I can imagine when you're not raised in a large family, which has with a bunch of kids, mama's raising these kids. You don't understand that. I have a cousin who married a gentleman who's not only an only child, he is of mixed descent, and he came around us. He was like, I love y'all. I love your family. And she was like, really? He's like, I never had this. I never saw groups of people get together and just love on each other and hang out. And y'all do that. And I've never done that. And I love it. I love how y'all get together and let's meet up and have a catfish fry, or let's meet up and have a barbecue. That's what we do. And I really think that a lot of people, when you're not from a large family, it's just hard to understand. Okay, thank you. Half of my family is half hood. The rest of us just bougie. Girl, that's I think my little one of my family members, the one I was talking about last night, she said the reason why she didn't tell the family about her being same gender loving was because she thinks that we're so Christian. So I was like, okay, girl, everybody in this group got a fault. Trust me. This one done did this one done did that. No one's gonna judge you. We haven't thrown a person out this family yet. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Miss AK, that is funny. Having a fish fry tomorrow. Let's see if somebody gonna argue over some sweet grass.
In Twilight Zone, because 12 hours before, because I had never experienced this, y'all doing what y'all doing, right? Mm-hmm. I'm standing beside the phone like, should I call the police? Honest to God, like, do we need some help in here? And the next morning, after all of this ruckus, Mama's in the kitchen like, what do y'all want for breakfast? And I'm thinking to myself like, did what I see happen yesterday really happen?
You know why? Because we family. And once you accept an apology, and once you right your wrong.
And he's trying to explain to her the dynamics of being a part of a large family. And you know what? It's so not easy for people who are not part of a large family to understand the dynamics of a large family. And I really, my heart goes out to him and her because she's having a hard time understanding and he's having to explain it to her.
Bam.
Yeah, he apologized. I accept it. I expect the same thing for my children. So that's what I expect for my kids.
Especially with me.
Case closed. That's so funny.
Listen, anyway, I want to talk to you about something when you were talking to the pastors at the house the other day.
Sitting down with pastors, especially two I've never met before, and inviting us into their home, I think was absolutely amazing. I think I learned a lot of things yesterday. We can have different points of views, but still land on the same side of right.
I don't believe in the gay lifestyle. Okay. So it's basically you attract who you are.
I disagree, or agreeing to disagree on some things.
I heard that you guys were having a conversation. I don't know what all was involved in the conversation.
First of all, I have a gay son. Let me start there. I don't know if I told y'all that.
Okay, something I pointed out yesterday, although Gerald hadn't told him he had a gay son, when he was asked point blank, would you ordain your gay son? Would you make your gay son over something? He never responded. Apparently he had the conversation with his wife when he got home and they addressed it together. And so she wants to address it on TV. Let's see what you're saying. I became an only child when I was 10, so I understand. Exactly. Only child syndrome is totally different. Most of my siblings, although there were 8 of us, 1, 2, 3, the first 4 have 1 child apiece. The first 4 children have 1 child apiece. So I have a lot of nieces and nephews who are only child. And baby, when I say they could be a booger bear, but they are so used to us being a big family that they consider their cousins like brothers and sisters. They are almost inseparable. My little cousin who passed away was like one of their sisters. Watching my nieces and nephews and my children cry over her was so hard because even my son, he's like, that was my sister. That was my big sister. And my son and her had such a good relationship. Their relationship was just it was so tight. I knew he would take the services hard, and he wrote her a poem and wanted to read the poem and was up there crying. I'm like, boy, you got to get this together. You got to get together. He's like, I'm trying, Mama, I'm trying. Thank you. Y'all, I'm trying to go healthy. Child, I don't know if this is going to work with these hot flashes. Me hot flashes and going natural. I'm thinking about when I go back for my next appointment in 2 weeks and I just got this done. You see, this is already lifted. Saying, girl, go on and give me the cream and crack because it's hard. Being natural is hard. It's hard. And she cut my hair because I'm trying to, as it grows, cut. Look, girl, I just don't know if I can do this natural thing. You're an only child too. I said what I said. Oh, only children have that only child syndrome. Until Miss she's a good big sister too. She's a good big sister. All my cousins are my siblings. Exactly. So I have a huge family. That's the way it is in my family. We have a large family. So all the children who are single birth children, I don't know how to explain. When I was born, my oldest sister was 18 years old, right? So I have nephews my age. They're actually older than I am. I'm not saying my age. They're actually older than I am. We're all born in the same year, but they're older. And then my travel partner is my niece. My husband doesn't really want to go to all these crazy places out of the country. So my niece, and he has a passport. He just be like, I ain't going there. Thailand. I ain't going to Thailand. Africa. Are you crazy? Why you want to go to Africa? So my niece is my travel partner, and we're 2 years apart in age. So those were my cousins. They were my siblings. I had no siblings that were my age. My older sister, who's next to me, she didn't want me around her. She didn't want me hanging out with her. So it was all. I'm not an only child, but you would have thought I was because I grew up by myself. I used to call my cousins my brother's cousins until I understood they weren't my brothers. Oh, you used to call your cousins my brothers. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yeah. Let me tell you something. All of my kids, I said this the other day, my kids, all of my brothers and sisters' children all call my cousins auntie. And it's because my mom and her baby sister were so tight. So where we're from, you always put a handle on a name if it's someone older than you are. So although they are their cousins, they call them aunt so and so, because and people have other cousins to be like, I want your kids to call me auntie too. And I was like, I got one cousin who came to me a couple years ago. She's like, can you tell your kids to call me auntie? No. And she's like, why not? I said, because they grew up around those cousins. That's why they call them aunts. Girl, you just moved here from California. They're not gonna call you. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're grown. You go ask them to call you auntie and see how that works out. No, ma'am, stay away from the cream and crack lady. Girl, what these? You see this? I don't like the puff. I like straight edges. I like my edges to be just like the bottom of my hair. I like straight. And honey, we're gonna work on it though. But I really thinking about when I go back in 2 weeks to say, girl, go on and it's that. Oh Lord, I've never worn. I take that back. I have a half wig that I've worn, but I've never done any tracks in my hair. I will wear braids, but I've always just worn my hair, and I've always worn a relaxer. And so during COVID, I went natural for about a year, and then I just couldn't take it no more. So I decided, but during COVID, I couldn't go to the beauty shop like I normally would because I have a 2-week standing appointment. So now that things have kind of calm, I decided I would try natural because I cut all my hair off after COVID. I went to a pixie cut. I wore a pixie cut for about 4 years. And about 2 years ago, I decided to grow it back out. And my hair was pretty long, but we've been, like I said, cutting it every time I go to get my hair done, wash and style. Every month we'll take some more off. And I hadn't had it cut in 2 months. So when I went on Wednesday, she did some more cutting because we're trying to get it all natural and get all the relaxer off. That's the goal. But child, when I tell you, I don't know. And she was like, you don't have a bad grade of hair. I don't like the little kinkiness. I like it straight. And that's just from probably wearing too many relaxers. Oh, you called your brother cousins. Okay, I got you. Our generations are all mixed. They are all mixed up. And you know what? It's our parents' fault. I call my big cousins auntie and uncle because they're my mom's age. Exactly. Same way here. My cousins, I just call them by their name. But my cousins, I was sharing this the other day. I went to a first cousin's husband's funeral on Saturday. He was 83. Quite a bit older than I am. But these are my first cousins. My mom, her parents were my grandmother was in her late 30s. My grandfather was in his 40s when my mom was born. So she her and my aunt have the younger group of children. So all of our cousins are like, they're our parents' age. And they're at that stage where they're passing away. And that's kind of hard because these are our first cousins. We're losing our first cousins. But the most of them live California, Phoenix. They live all over the East Coast. We have a couple in other states. But yeah, just really wild. I see you some edge control. Please, what kind you use? Tell me what kind will make it straight, because I have tried Cantu. I bought some the other day. I don't like it at all because it made my edges white. And it's another one. I want to say Miel, I believe was the third one I bought. And I don't like it. I tried jam, less jam, or it's jam, some jam. I don't like that either. So I got the stick. I can do the stick, but the thing about the stick, it only lasts for a second because it's grease, right? Or it's like a Murray's. So tell me what kind of edge control you use. I'm thinking about trying the Basket Leather, the Tokyo's brand. So let me know what you use and I'll see. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we're going to get back to the crate. We done been all off synced. We almost been on here an hour from this show.
Let me ask a question. Would you ordain your son?
If he wasn't...
No. Would you ordain an openly gay man or woman?
Bishop Phelps attacked me. What? I was attacked in his home. I was afraid, but God brought me out.
Okay,
You're going way too far. But that's what happened.
Oh, write that down.
Okay, let me say this about what I found out about Tuck yesterday. He was the first pastor that I know who ordained a gay person.
It's simple, yes or no. Just want a yes or no question.
I mean, I have. Dad be like, whoa.
One thing about Bishop Phelps is that he's always been consistent in what he believed or what he didn't believe. And so I knew that whatever our exchange was, I wasn't going to change his belief by any stretch.
I don't know how we could ordain the fornicator, the drunk, the crackhead, but then I can't ordain the individual who...
And we talked about that last night about how a lot of times these preachers that you look at live alternate lives. They're alcoholics, drunks, doing drugs. There was a pastor here locally, I want to say maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little less than 10 years, who was found in a hotel room full of drugs. He had OD'd. And it made people kind of open up the eyes of some of the people in the area, because this man was a prominent pastor. He was young. I want to say he was in his early 40s. And he was out here, they thought had this big church and was living large. And he over here in a rinky-dinky hotel with a room full of drugs, and apparently had brought in a lady of the night with him. So I just think that when we talk about Christianity and we want to be exclusive and not include everyone that Jesus said, come unto me, I think that we're doing a disservice to God and to the church. And them rehashing the very fact that they talked about that. Okay, Ms. AKA, they talked about the very fact of the gays, and then when he, bringing gay or same gender loving people into the church, how do they handle them? What is their affirmations and what do they let them do in the church? Pretty much, did they let them sing in the choir, be ushers on the ushers board, let them lead the choir, or be the minister of music? What are you doing? And most of them said no. All with the only one who really stood up was Jeremy Tuck. Although they asked over and over of Gerald Haddon, he did not respond, which I thought was very telling. Reason why him and his son probably don't get along is because they don't actually, he does not allow him to be a part of that. Stormy's edge control is good. I just wrote down Canvas Beauty edge control, so I'm gonna look into that. Basket. Okay, I've heard that. And you know what? When I was at Essence, the line to Basket Leather was so long, but Tokyo was actually talked to her. She was sitting on the ground signing some papers. And She said, get in line. I was like, that line way too. I'm not getting in that line because I didn't really know anything about her products. But I will, when I go to the beauty supply store, I will look for basket leather today because I saw it on the shelf last time I was there. But I'm going to try some basket leather, and I'll get some canvas beauty in between both of them. Whichever one I don't like, I'm not going to use because I am going to go to the beauty supply today. I'm going to go up there after a while. I don't have no hair. Miss AKA. You grow a lot of hair. That's why you're at the barbershop all the time, because your hair is growing. I'm in San Diego and it's so much. Okay. I'm gonna send you pictures. Okay. I appreciate that. Or is she talking to me? You said you talking to me. I hope that you're gonna send me a picture of the edge control. I'll be in the bush. Okay, I appreciate that. I don't like that it is that part. It is almost like we're here, we're better than you are, and you guys over there, and we might let y'all come over here and play with us. We might, depending on how we feel. But then you allow the drunkard, the drug addict, the fornicator, the adulterer to come in, and you don't say anything about it. That is where I find an issue with it at. Let's go back to we're almost done.
Quite honest, I wasn't looking to change it. Definitely not in his house. I was trying to eat the mac and cheese. I was respectful of his opinion. I didn't agree with his opinion.
I'm a new pastor, so some of the things I was hearing, I felt like, if I be totally 100, between Bishop P and Bishop T, they may be a little younger, but they had some old school ways. They're rooted in some old school ways that I don't think in tradition in church that is.
Which is true. What he says is true. Phelps, I'm not sure how old Phelps and Tiggs are. They look like they are probably the older of the group, along with Jamal. And he said that he felt like they were rooted in some old school ways. But I think Gerald, if he was honest with himself, he probably too have some roots in some old school ways.
Needed, but then not needed to a certain extent. I can't explain it. That's the only way I know how to say it. It's like, you need discipline of this, but then you also, how do we reach those people over there if we hit them with the rules of yesterday?
I grew up in a traditional Baptist church here in the Atlanta area. My grandfather was the co-founder of the church. He was the chairman of the deacon board. And my grandmother was the first church secretary.
So my thing is, if a person is in the LGBT community, say, I have a love for the opposite sex, but I love Jesus so much, I don't activate in that. Why wouldn't I ordain?
No, I wouldn't ordain anyone, but I believe that everyone should be accepted into our ministries, into our churches.
We're full of sin. You ain't nobody in here ain't got no sin. I smell sin all over you.
So now Gerald is saying he would ordain them if they said they were trying to keep their same gender loving wants and needs under subjection. Then why wouldn't he ordain them, right? As long as they practice discipline. They couldn't marry someone and expect to live a life loving same gender and be in his church. That's pretty much what he's saying. Angelique Simmons, she did say she would not ordain them, but she would accept them openly into her church to be a member.
It's just control.
That's the ribs.
Hold on, I'm just a little theological lad.
I grew up in church, but I got away from church. And when I got away from church, I did everything that I was big and bad enough to do. I didn't have a miserable life of sin. I was on my way to hell from the VIP.
I love the fact that he was
going to hell VIP member.
And he loves Jesus. I think it's amazing because then he can appeal to a whole nother set of group of people. Just like we were talking about the LGBTQ community, then there's the thug community too, who needs Jesus. And I think that's what he brings to the table. And I thought that was very dope.
Okay, so that was Bishop Phelps that was saying that he was on his way to hell VIP. Bishop Phelps also, what he said, he was a drug lord. He was hood, talked about running a gang. So you have this gentleman talking about all these things he's been through, things he's done. But if the same loving God could save him, why can't it save the same gender loving person? You understand what I'm saying? Miss AKA said, for the lady preacher whose husband passed away, you would think that she would accept saying same. I know you meant same gender lovers, since they are so hard on women. I totally agree, because of the very fact of you have had to deal with the prejudiceness of someone not loving you because you were a woman, and so much is so till they came to put you out of the church. So you would think that you would understand what that meant. He sounds so regular to me, and I don't like that. It's so hypocritical. It is, but let's be honest, people are hypocrites. They're just hypocrites, because we're always, and I always will say this in Butterflies chat. I hadn't really said it over here, but I'm gonna say it over here. I don't always want to be biblical, but I'm gonna get biblical on you. The Bible talks about the mote and the beam. I am so busy trying to get this little speck out of your eye. Hold on, come here, girl. Let me get that speck out of your eye. And yet I got a big tree in my eye, right? But I'm too busy trying to get your little speck out that I can't see this big beam that is actually blocking my vision to be able to see properly. And that's where hypocrisy comes in. Even here on this app, I have heard people say, well, I don't do this and I don't do that. And all the while they over there doing everything that they say they don't do. I'm going to bring up an example. This past weekend, Miss Wanda went live, and in her live chat, I saw somebody typing. Started out real sweet, and then it got real sarcastic and nasty, right? But in their conversation that they had with another content creator, they swore, I don't be in nobody chat doing none of that. Hypocrisy. People they just practice hypocrisy. They do. And they don't have any resolve or any kind of light bulb that flashes on and was like, I did that too. Oh my God. Let me reflect this light back on me. Part of growth and maturity is always you reflecting on what you've done and correcting your mistakes. But if you are constantly doing something that you fail to correct, you fail to acknowledge, and you continue it, that's where the hypocrisy just continues. And so I have just, in my own judgment, and I'm being very careful with choosing my words, I think that people that we all practice some type of hypocritical oath of some sort, right? Whether or not is logic or illogical, we do. That is true. We're all hypocritical, but everybody needs God. That's how I look at it. I totally agree with that 100%. I have a lot of pastors, ministers, just full church members and owners all down south. They can be very judgmental, and most of my cousins love the same sex and a whole lot of other things. Baby, who you talking about? Get out of my family. Who you talking about? Because that's life. And before my mom passed away, I remember, y'all, my chair is really squeaky. I need to WD-40 it. Before my mom passed away, I remember having a conversation with her. Because I try to be open-minded, and I really wanted my mom to be open-minded with me. Why we as a group of people who consider ourselves Christian thought we were better than others. And so much and so till, I'm going to tell you how, my point. I grew up holiness, Pentecostal, shouting, speaking in tongues, praising God, all the nines, the drums, the organ, the piano, the guitars, all of this in church. And in doing so, I can remember going to visit my sister-in-law's church as a young girl. And we went in, and they had a smoker's room. They had a room that was set aside just for people to come smoke. And I thought, who smokes in church? Because smoking is wrong. And I remember going home to tell my mama, and she was like, they're going to hell, all of them. I thought, oh my God, they were at the church smoking. So that's program. I'm a young girl, impressionable, maybe 8, 9 years old. So now that's ingrained into my head. She was smoking they smoke at the church, they're going to hell, right? Whereas the Bible speaks nothing about smoking. But ingrained in my head, because they're defiling the temple, and your temple is the body of Christ. Now in my head, I've ingrained, they're going to hell. Just based on that. So growing up in holiness, I also thought that because we believe that you couldn't do this, and this, that made us better than the rest of the other churchgoers at Baptists, at the Methodist churches, at the Presbyterian. We were just better. And that's all wrong. We are all wretches undone. We are all sinful. We all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. That is biblical. But these people seem to believe that they're just a tad bit better than everybody else just because they may do things on a larger scale or what have you. And I'm going to step off my soapbox for a moment. See, you're on it. I'm trying to get off of it. I can honestly say I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite at times, and I have no problem. Me too. I'm not always right. And sometimes I say things and then do something opposite, or do the very thing that I said that I'm not. But I'm not going to get out here and say, oh my God, I wouldn't do X, Y, and Z. And I'm constantly doing it. I'm going to go see. I was just going somewhere. My neighbor says she's going to check your. I appreciate that. Girl, you're so sweet, Miss AKA. I just love you too. I just love you. But I'm going to say this. Talk about being hypocritical. The very fact that once you realize you're wrong, it's okay to apologize. Because once you apologize, it proves that you're human and that you make mistakes, because we all make mistakes. And it also proves that you're not too big to apologize when you figure out you're wrong, right? But then here's the thing. When you are wrong and you've been lying and you keep lying and you keep pushing that lie and you think that it's going to alter people's judgment, and guess what? You can only fool people for so long. Eventually, people see you for who you are. That's just life. That's life. No one is going to continue to believe that you're saying X, Y, and Z when they actually see you doing ABC. Now, you got to be pretty stupid to think that when you see someone doing this, but when you see them saying this, but actually see them doing this, that the 2 and 2 ain't equaling 4. I like to use that 2 and 2 equal 4 thing. You got to be slow. Your elevator don't go all the way to the top. Your penthouse doesn't exist. I don't know what the explanation is, but there has to be an explanation as to why you could watch somebody on this tube blatantly lie on somebody and then believe them without seeing all the whole picture. I don't get it, but that's just me. I don't always have to get crap because, honey, I'm going to live my life regardless of what anybody says. Where we at? The goalpost is always moving when it comes to exactly. It always moves. Oh, I wouldn't do this, and this. And then you could just look on. I'm telling you, that's why I put in my comment the other day. I got the receipts. Do I need to show the receipts? I got the receipts. I got them. I got them. Do you want to see them? Because this is what you do. You move the goalposts every day. Oh, we over. Whoa, dodge. Girl, we see you. We see all y'all. We see y'all lying. My daughter's bisexual. My bonus daughter is a lesbian. And I hope they are loved by everybody who comes in contact with them. Everybody. I believe my middle daughter is same-sex loving, but I love my baby. And if she's happy, I'm happy. Exactly. I talked about last night, do you think like I used to? And last night I talked about a family member who same gender loving. I won't indulge any information on who the person is, but she's a girl. And I love her. When I found out on Instagram. My son was like, have you been on Instagram today? No, we need to go on Instagram. I did. And I picked up the phone and called her. Can we talk? And she said, yeah, we can talk. And we talked. And I told her I loved her. What she eat didn't make me go to the bathroom. And it was my job just to love her regardless. Don't ever think that you have to stay away from your family members because of who you love. You don't ever have to stay away from us because of that. And it was easy for her to hide it because she went to college away from home. And after she finished her undergrad and got her master's, she stayed away. She never moved back home. She stayed away. So it was easy for us not to know what she was doing. What we see, you know, she come to town for visits or whatever, but we didn't see the day-to-day activities or what her life was like. We always knew she was by herself, but she had a whole life in another city. So nobody thought anything of it. But I wanted her to know that I loved her. She could count on me. If she needed me, I was there for her. And that was the way it was. When she did her bridal shower, 'cause she got married, I sent her a gift. When at the wedding, I sent a wedding gift. The rest of my siblings didn't send anything. I talked with them, and they all said the same, we don't believe in this. So because they didn't believe in it, they chose not to be a part of that. And to her, that meant the door to them was closed. But she told me the door was always open for me. I'm not trying to buy anybody's love. I want you to love all of us. And I think my siblings, they all say, oh, we love her. We love her. We just don't agree with her lifestyle. So because you don't agree with her lifestyle, you don't support her. Support looks different for everybody, but support means I'm here for you. You can lean on me, right? When things don't work out, you can lean on me. The marriage didn't work out. She's with somebody totally different. But at the end of the day, she still has my full support. In fact, the girl she with now, honey, I love her probably more than I love the family member. When she come around, I'm like, where's so-and-so? Girl, if you don't bring her over, because when I say she's one of the sweetest people you ever want to know, heart is big. We went out to dinner one day. We're all getting through. This is a big party of people, right? We're eating, and I was like, hey, can I get my bill? And the waitress comes by, and she goes, this table's already been taken care of. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, someone's already paid all the bills. Really? I was like, okay. She went out of her way to make sure that we loved her, that we were there, and she warmed my heart, period. When I say, when my family member comes around, and I be like, where's so-and-so? Where's she at? Girl, I want to see you. Where's she at? I'm the family. I want to see her. Where's she at? I got someone I want to run past her because she's very intelligent. She's a consultant. She has 2 master's degrees. She graduated from a college with her second master's degree in Spain. But when I tell you, just so intelligent, I can bounce things off her, and she spit it off like this. That's why I said, if it's something I don't know, I can get you to somebody, or I can get the information from somebody who knows. What she said, I knew my daughter was going to be gay when she was younger. See, you knew. And this isn't my kid, so I don't know if there were signs that were missed, but I will tell you this, that I love her regardless. I love her regardless. Ain't nothing she can say that's going to upset me and keep me from loving her. Now, we do argue, but I still love her. We ain't arguing about her being same gender loving, girl. We argue about the size of the moon most of the time. Ain't even nothing serious. The truth always come out. Always. Girl, like a tenfold. Like, you ever seen the movie Man listening through the wall to hear what's going on over there, and when they open up the door, he falls out? That's how truth comes out. That's how the truth comes out. Two plus an apple do not equal exactly, because the apple done took the place of a number. No, man, put an X there. What is the sum of X? See, you was there, and it meant the world. And it did. It meant the world to her. I was actually supposed to go to the wedding. The wedding was in Punta Cana, and I couldn't go because my mama got sick. So I had to decline the invitation. And she's like, I understand. She said, if I was you, that's where I would be right at this moment too. So, but I really wanted to be there. Yeah. Oh man, when I tell you her partner, baby, she told me, she said, this is my soulmate. That's the word that my family member used for her partner. And I was like, girl, she everybody's soulmate, because we all love her. We all love her. When we see that Rivian drive up, we like, hey, here she is. So when I tell you we have a good time. Let's get back to the end. We're almost done.
It was really cool yesterday. I found out. Let me tell you, it's between me. You want me to drop the T on your T? What you got?
Bishop Phelps, he be fighting. Don't tell nobody. He be fighting. He throw hands.
Bishop Phelps be fighting.
How you fight? He told me.
Shut up.
He told me he got in a fight 2 weeks ago. Shh, don't tell nobody. I'm telling you too much. He actually scared me. I said, "Tammy, we gotta go. Please." Well, how'd you enjoy the ladies?
I had a really good time. But because I'm introverted and kind of shy. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what to expect.
So y'all got to watch this. He said that this is Gerald had. He said that Bishop Phelps be fighting, and he said he throwing them hands. And she said, "How do you know that?" She said, "He told me he got into a fight 2 weeks ago." When I tell you it was hilarious, that part was hilarious.
Gotta find her somebody. Listen.
Now talking about finding Simmons over
train. Wow.
I'm trying to see. Is there anything else I want to talk to?
Really is looking to find her place. A relationship and a friendship.
I finally got my claim for my car accident. They only offered me $5,000.
You guys have got to go watch this show. It was good. That's pretty much the gist of the show. I don't know what this is. I get some of the most random text messages to my phone. But you've got to go watch this show. Go watch the 3 episodes, and then let's talk about the reunion. I'm going to post when we could do it again, when we could do the review as a group and just watch it, stop it, and chit chat about it. Hopefully I won't get a copyright strike. Hopefully I won't. Let's see what we're talking about. This is me and my husband. Girl, when I tell you that their conversation and their dialogue is hilarious. She took over. Right. She had took over for the family member, baby. This is our new family member. We love her. She's welcome here at any time of the day. When I tell you helpful, bring stuff out the car, just in the kitchen, want to help cook, just a sweet, sweet, gentle soul. Oh my God. She wears her hair real kinky, like she's mixed descent as well, but her hair, she wears it like a little afro. She had her hair straightened at my mom's services. And I had to look. I was like, girl, you are pretty. She said, what? I said, girl, you are beautiful. She said, thank you. Absolutely beautiful girl. Really pretty girl. Yeah, she done took over her. She the family. We're going to put the family member out. If that ain't big homie. If this ain't big homie talk about, he got some big, I got something I want. Exactly. I don't think she wants a man either, because I believe she wanted a man, she could have had one. She's not an ugly woman. I gotta watch the reunion right after this. Me too. And I think I have my live set for the next one for, I think it's 1:30. I may move it to 2:00 because I'm gonna fix me something to eat, and I'm gonna go get these eyebrows threaded because they're a mess. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, because we want to keep this channel. Please like and subscribe. I want to talk about one other thing before I leave. Many of y'all may not know, but Karen is going to be released from prison on September the 2nd. Let me see what the 2nd is, because I know Monday is Monday. Monday's the 1st. 2nd will be on Tuesday. And baby, she's going to be coming home to Ray. Hopefully Ray hasn't moved to Florida and he's still in Maryland waiting on her to return home or wherever he is. But hopefully he didn't leave her, because he wanted to go. Ray wanted to go to Florida and live. See what bad. Hey, Lady Red Chat, I've missed a lot, but I'm here. Thank you, Bad Girl Riri, for even coming in today. When I tell you I'm just appreciative, I just want this channel to be a lot of just chit chat. I want to just talk, and I want to speak of things that will touch each other. Something that you may find very interesting, and maybe we can break it down and understand it better together. That's what my goal for this channel. Say if she needs to go straight to rehab, no shade. You know what? Let's pull up that article real quick. I don't want to see no interviews. I want to hear no podcasts. I want to hear her coming out of rehab. That's what you want. You want to hear her coming out of rehab. What about all this time she's been locked up? You don't think she did any rehab while she was locked up? I think think maybe I misspelled prison, but hopefully it'll come. Here we go. Let's see what People has to say, the article that they have. Let me share my screen. First, let me go back and add in fair use disclaimer. Some material in this video is used under U.S. copyright fair use, Section 107, for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of commentary and a lot of criticism. Let's share the screen. I'll show this again. Here we go. Let's see if we can read this. The Real Housewives of Potomac, Karen Huger, gets new release date after reporting to prison for DUI arrest. Huger will be released from prison on September the 2nd after being sentenced to 2 years with 1 year suspended. She went in February. So her getting out in, I don't know what this is, but I don't want it on my page. Her getting out on the 2nd, she's only been in March, April, May, June, July, August, September. She's only been in 6 months. So this is pretty good, Karen. This is pretty good. Somebody up there really likes you because they're letting you out. Karen is getting an early release from prison more than 6 months after her sentencing. The Real Housewives of Potomac star 62 is set to be released from prison on September the 2nd. People has learned the Jasmine brand was the first to report the news. Hip hop to the Jasmine brand. I love the Jasmine brand. Also, I'm going to say I love the Jasmine. I read a lot of stuff from the Jasmine brand. This is coming from People magazine. This is their article. People has reached out to Huger's rep and Montgomery County's Department of Correction and Rehabilitation about her early release. On February the 26th, the reality star was sentenced to 2 years in prison with 1 year suspended for her drunk driving case. When taken into custody earlier this year, Huger told her husband of 28 years, Ray, you will be all right, and that God's got you. A source on the scene told People at the time. Huger was arrested in March of 2024 after a single vehicle crash into a street sign 3 miles from her house. What did our boy say on this past week's episode of Love, Marriage, Huntsville? First he hit the animal, then he hit the tree, then he hit a pole. That was Karen's story. Body cam footage later released from the scene showed a visibly intoxicated Huger stumbling and slurring her words while speaking with police. In a filmed conversation with her husband, Ray, which aired during the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9 reunion in March, Huger reacted to the footage. Dots are being connected for me, she admitted. I keep saying, surely they made a mistake, right? Because everything's not connecting to me. And I watched, and I'm telling you, I didn't recognize that woman. I didn't know her, but it helped me to hear that because I blacked out before the impact. Anywho, in March of 2024, she was officially charged with DUI and DWI, negligently driving a vehicle in a careless and imprudent manner, endangering property, life, and person, as well as reckless driving a vehicle in wanton and willfully disregard for safety of persons and property. Other charges included failure to control vehicle speed on the highway to avoid a collision, driving a vehicle in excess of reasonable and prudent speed on the highway, driving a vehicle on the highway with a suspended registration, and failure to notify administration of change of address within 30 days. Huger was found guilty on all charges except reckless driving, her rep told People in December. And then it just goes on to say that Candace has whatever she had to say, and then Giselle and Ashley, they said what they had to say. Anywho, baby, Karen is coming home. Karen is coming home. That was a slap on the wrist. I may sound harsh, but she could have been hurt. I'm right here with you. I agree with you 100%. Definitely a slap on the wrist. And what was this, her fourth time? Was this her fourth offense? I think this was her fourth offense, and it's scary. I think when Karen had Blue Eyes was her driver, and she should have kept Blue Eyes to drive her around. Why drunk people want to get in cars and drive is beyond me. It's beyond me. I think you should stay still and relax. Be still and know that I am God. That's what she should have done. She didn't do it. All we can do is offer Karen our prayers. Hopefully she will come out because she has a second leash on life, or a second chance at being a better person than she was yesterday. I like Karen Huger. I think she's a great person on the show. I really hate that she is an alcoholic. Allegedly. Allegedly. Allegedly, she's an alcoholic. I really hate that she's allegedly an alcoholic. And I wish her the best. That's all I got for her. I wish her the best. Karen by AKA. Oh, my sweet AKA could be so harsh sometimes. When it happens again, who's responsible? Hopefully she'll never have a driver's license again. I think they said her license is going to be suspended a year. I wouldn't let her drive again. I wouldn't. If I was a judge, I would never let her drive again. If she's caught without a license, lock her up. Make her serve out the rest of her sentence. Because she did get off very easily. She got off very easy. See, that's what gets me. How you gonna register your vehicle in Michigan? You have to do that on your birthday every year. Really? Girl, Here you register your car when you buy it, and the next year you registered in the same month that you bought it in, and it goes on like that. Our driver's license could be up to 10 years, so yeah, that would throw it off. Yeah, I hate that part too, allegedly. I want her to get help too. I think she's a good person. She definitely needs a reality check. Bad girl Riri, I feel you. She definitely needs a reality check. Not sure the 6 months gave it to her. I think 6 months gave her an opportunity to not be in a wig and makeup every day, and maybe that was a part of a reality check. I hope it was. Only thing we can do is hope for her to have learned a lesson and be able to move on with life. That's it. That's all I got. Anywho, I see that yesterday Real Housewives of Potomac released, I want to say a trailer. If not a trailer, they released some of their footage, letting them know what day they're coming out. So I'm going to address that in my travel blog, or I may just do a separate one. I'm not sure. But thank you guys for joining me. What did she say? I am literally renewing my registration now. LOL. A lot of areas in Texas are now exempt in Texas, though. Child, I wish they would exempt this area. This area, I wish they would exempt it, because I still have to go get it inspected, and I still have to get it tagged every year. Honey, I hate that. Oh, more than anything, because now I gotta go over to the place. I try to do my tags online if I do it early enough, and even if I'm late, girl, I still may order them online depending on how I feel. Karen and Papa need to move to Palms. Exactly. Ray told her, baby, let's just move to Florida and retire. And Karen still want to be, this young whippersnapper, getting the boobs done and, getting the body all together and the face lifting. And I'm not saying she's wrong for that. What I'm saying is that you did something very wrong. And the ladies have been telling us all along that Karen allegedly liked to drink. We heard Robin say it. We heard Ashley say it. We heard Giselle giggle about it. So apparently she needs help. Move. Karen, if you hear this, if you read this, please, Bad Girl Riri and I want you to move to Palm Springs and let Ray live out his life in peace. That's all I'm asking. Ain't asking for, just let Ray enjoy the rest of his life. Is that too much, y'all? Thank you, Miss AKA. I appreciate that every day. And I never get, me too. I wait to the last minute. My husband actually took our last vehicle that had to be registered this year and got it done. I did the other one, and I was late. In fact, I was 2 months late doing it, and I just went ahead and just ordered it online. Just I wait for it to come in the mail. I'm still gonna drive my car every day. I'm gonna drive my car now. His car, I think, his is due at the beginning of his vehicle, his truck. So he does that one, and then the car that we don't drive very much, he took it because I went out there. I was like, oh, I need to go get this car inspected. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, he already did it. Thank you, God. My personal car that I drive every day, I went and did it. Child, when I tell you go through some hoops, getting your cars inspected, child. Anywho, y'all have a great rest of your morning. Is the morning over yet? Yes, noon. And I will see you guys back in about an hour and a half. And let's talk some travel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please share this live. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway after, if people share it, if you share it and put it, your name that you shared the live in the box, I think I'm going to do a giveaway and send it to someone after I pull a name. I'm thinking about doing that. I used to sell paparazzi, and I have probably about $10,000 worth of jewelry around here that my husband keeps saying, let's just throw it in the trash. But I spend money on it, so I think someone could probably use it. So I may do a couple of giveaways. So please like, subscribe, and share. I don't know why I tried to sell jewelry, but when I realized that MLM was a scam, like, I got to get them over here. This ain't doing nothing but sinking money in a sinking ship. But anywho, I will talk to you guys later. If no one told you today they love you, I love you. And I'll see you back. Yes, you can. You can share it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I don't think Instagram will let you share it. But TikTok, no, not them either. Twitter and Facebook. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys later. If you share it, put it down in, I think I accessed my community wall yesterday. You can put on the community wall that you shared it, and I'm going to put everybody's name in a hat, and we're going to send out a couple of gifts. All right? Talk to you later. Yes, we definitely going to talk about MLM scammers, and I'm going to tell you what I went through working MLM for 2 years. It was just something fun to do, but baby, I sunk a lot of money into this MLM. All right. See you later.